Run It Back Nation, what is good? Sixers sickos, what is good? We're going to talk about some things today, but first, this is brought to you by HelloFresh. Go to HelloFresh.com/runitbackfree to get free breakfast for life using the promo code RunItBackFree at checkout. Link is in the description. Let's get down to business.
Run it back, Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros.
All right, let's talk about our boy, Pascal Siakam. There's people that hit me up all the time that say we should trade for Pascal Siakam, or what do you think about a Pascal Siakam trade? Or, as more commonly known on this channel, Pascalbo Siakam. Yes, the player that elbowed Joel Embiid in the face 2 seasons ago, ending the Sixers season essentially. Went on to play the Miami Heat, lost Joel for 2 games, came back with a mask on. Pascalbo Siakam. From Cameroon, Africa, hometown of also Joel Embiid and Sixers process legend Luc Mbah a Moute. But let's talk about Pascal Siakam for a second, okay? So way back in August, this was reported. It seems inevitable Toronto Raptors will deal Siakam. They expect a strong deal for return in the form of quality rotation players, expiring contracts, and draft picks, all qualities that help accelerate a rebuild. So the first thing is, will the Raptors trade him? The second thing is, do the Sixers have the package pause that the Raptors would want? And the third thing is, does he even really fit on the Sixers roster when you really consider play style, of certain abilities, and things like that? So this is funny. That was back in August, and then the OG Anunoby trade happens with the New York Knicks that sends RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly to the Toronto Raptors. And immediately after that happened, this was reported by Evan Sidery, who is, just for context, why is he credible? Contributor Forbes Sports, Basketball News, SB Nation, just a guy with sources, you know. But anyway, Evan Sidery tweeted right after that trade happened and said the Raptors are continuing to explore trade scenarios involving Pascal Siakam after moving OG Anunoby, but there's currently no traction on a deal. Toronto is finally ready to blow it all up and build around Scotty Barnes. 2 days later, Brett Siegel, Pascal Siakam, and DeJounte Murray are 2 names coming up in a lot of trade rumors since the OG Anunoby trade. New details on 2 stars, as well as the latest on futures of Donovan Mitchell, Kyle Kuzma, and others. Phil Galaxy quote tweets, so we don't have to read the article, and says, along with the Hawks, the Pacers, the Kings, 76ers, and Mavericks expressed prior interest in Pascal Siakam, the 76ers would be another intriguing landing spot for Jordan Clarkson, especially with D'Anthony Melton in the final year of his contract. Jordan Clarkson. But we're talking about Siakam here. So the Sixers were named as a team that would be interested in Pascal Siakam. Who knows if that's true or not. Evan Sidery on January 1st, Pascal Siakam's widely presumed preference is to play out the rest of the season with the Raptors. Siakam wants ultimate control in his next destination. If he doesn't stay in Toronto, Siakam appears unwilling to sign an extension with the new team. So obviously, Pascal Siakam wants to become an unrestricted free agent. There's 2 things there. Would he even want to play next to Joel Embiid? I think Pascal Siakam wants to be the star of his own show. The second thing is, you would be renting him if you made the trade at that point, because he wants to be an unrestricted free agent to be able to choose where he goes. And so you make the trade, you get him for half a season, and he goes somewhere else. And then there's also this. Since making the trade, the Toronto Raptors are 2-0. And yeah, when they made the trade, everybody was like, oh, now they're definitely going to trade Pascal Siakam and build around Scotty Barnes. But they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 124-121. They beat the Memphis Grizzlies last night against the Cavs. Pascal Siakam led the team with 36. Last night against the Memphis Grizzlies, Pascal Siakam led the team with 24. No, quickly led the team with 26. But the thing was, does he fit? Are they going to build around Scotty Barnes? The addition of Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett, at least over the past 2 games, it looks like a damn good fit. And it looks like Siakam's still playing a role where he's the one of the lead scorers, but is fitting nicely around the other players on that squad. So it was thought the Toronto Raptors were going to blow it up and they're going to build around Scotty Barnes. But if they keep winning, there's literally no reason for them to want to trade him at all. They would probably be more on the train of trying to convince him to resign. And then, of course, there is just this. The main reason I say no to Pascal Siakam, even if Toronto wanted to trade him, even if the Sixers had what it would take to land him in a trade, it's Pascal Siakam's play style combined with Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid commands more space in the paint than any player we may have ever seen. Joel Embiid is having a historic season right now, the best season of his career, because of the roster around him and how the paint is wide open. There's nobody in his way, and he can roam and he can do his thing, and he can get to the mid-range. He can shoot from the top of the key. He can get down on the block. He can drive the lane. He can do all the things he wants to do, and he's just such a big person, and he draws so much attention defensively. There just realistically can't be anybody else in the paint for Joel Embiid to be most effective. You need guys on the perimeter that are ball handlers and shooters. That's number one. I guess that's number 3 or 4 of the video. Pascal Siakam, while I like him as a player, and I think he definitely has star potential. I think he's going to be named an All-Star this season, probably, maybe. There was just a rumor that it's expected that he'll be named an All-Star this season. But when you watch him play, Pascal Siakam scores most of his points with a wide open paint. It's just the way that it is. Jakob Poeltl moves out to the three-point line, and Pascal Siakam goes to work on the turnaround jumper or driving the lane or what have you. It doesn't benefit Joel Embiid's game for Pascal Siakam to be there, and it definitely doesn't benefit Pascal Siakam's game for Joel Embiid to be there. And we already tried this. Joel can be a stretch 5, so we can play Twin Towers. We can put Al Horford there, and Joel can move out to the three-point line sometimes. The last thing I want to do is try again to play this thing where we think Joel Embiid can play alongside another big and move out to the three-point line at times and be a stretch 5. He did it for 5 years with Ben Simmons, who refused to shoot. He did it with Al Horford. The Sixers need players that fit the Joel Embiid system. He is the nucleus of the team, but he's the biggest nucleus of an NBA team that we may have seen. Name one. Shaq, but even he had Kobe, but others, but there wasn't guys in the paint. Shaq's sidekicks were his power forward was like Robert Horry, who's one of the most clutch, quick trigger three-point shooters of all time. I think Nicholas Batum and players of that skill set just make much more sense than a guy like Pascal Siakam who scores most of his points in the paint. That's my take on it. Sorry if I disappointed you. And the Raptors probably aren't going to trade him anyway because they're looking pretty damn good right now. All right, no more That's What She Said jokes. Here we go. He sends me this and he says, what do you think of this trade? Kyle Kuzma and Tyus Jones. Now, the Sixers' 2 biggest needs, I think, are the Tobias Harris contract. The Tobias Harris just being way too inconsistent for what you're paying him with an expiring contract at a whopping $39 million. The Sixers are once again interested in moving Tobias Harris. So let's not sugarcoat it for all you people in the comments that keep getting mad every time I talk shit on Tobias Harris. The main reason is the contract, and you can find a better fit for cheaper. For instance, Kyle Kuzma. Better player than Tobias Harris. I don't want to hear it. It's not even close. Okay? Bigger, stronger, more athletic, better finisher. I don't know if he's a better shooter. I didn't look at the stats. You let me know, you Tobias Harris fanboys. And the second need for the Sixers is their backup point guard position. Did I say that already? Backup point guard and the Tobias Harris situation. Also, I'm still on the DeAnthony Melton at starting shooting guard thing. But, what's out there? But anyway, let's look at this trade. Tyus Jones and Kyle Kuzma for Tobias Harris. And you could ask yourself, why would the Wizards be interested in this? Well, the Wizards need to be interested in a couple of things. They need to be interested in getting rid of the Kyle Kuzma contract. They need to be interested in getting rid of the Jordan Poole contract. And they need to be looking to completely tank and blow it up. And one of the ways you do that is you get rid of big contracts for expiring contracts. So this makes perfect sense for the Washington Wizards. it seems like a lot of picks for me. 2026 first round, that's a swap or whatever you want to call it. That's the worst of three different teams, OKC and some others, I forget. 2028 is the unprotected first round pick. Then a 2028 second round, a 2029 second round, and a 2029 first. That's a lot of picks, I could see Tobias Harris and the 2028 unprotected. I think that's a lot. That 2028 unprotected first round pick is very valuable. But if you're getting Tyus Jones and Kyle Kuzma, I think that I've said this already. I already think the Sixers are a contender. I 100% do because of the level that Joel Embiid is at, and I went through that on the last video that I put out. But if you can add Tyus Jones and Kyle Kuzma to this squad, and you're only giving up Tobias Harris and picks, it makes you a damn even more of a contender. That makes them a very, very, very good team. And they're already a very good team. They have the highest net rating in the entire NBA right now, no matter what you say about the roster flaws. So you're shoring up a couple of things. I think it's a great trade for the Sixers. It's just that it's too many picks for me. That's my take on it. Tobias in the 2028, I would probably say yes to this trade. As much as I don't want to give up that 2028 first, I want the Sixers to win a damn championship, and I want them to add players that complement Joel Embiid and don't potentially hinder the spacing and his ability to work in the paint. You know what I mean? Let me know what your thoughts are on this trade right here. Shout out to Adam Jama. I forget your name already, but shout out to you, bro. Thanks for hitting me up. Thanks for sending me the trade. That was just for fun, and that's all I got. All right? Y'all have a good day. I'm out of here.